What's going on, guys? Should be streaming now. No, it takes a little bit of a delay on my time. Oh, now streaming. Okay, cool. See, I get the screen today. It's actually showing me. Yesterday I couldn't see me. It was only showing the actual thumbnail to the class. So cool. It's like, I think it's got about a 5-10 second delay, so that's good. All right, so till we get some people in here, this is like the first, well, it's not the first live video I've done. I've done a live video before, but kind of had some complications with it. I did it on mobile the first time. That was a little different. I like doing things from my desktop, especially when it's work related if I can. So I found a cool little free open source software to use, and so figured I'd give you guys a little bit more access to me or to someone directly that you can talk to about digital marketing and all that kind of stuff. So as you guys pop in, we're going to get this stream going, and I have so far put an hour aside right now, so I'm going to hopefully try to keep this thing going till about 7:30, even if it's just me sitting here talking and there aren't too many people who get here. You guys, I know, will benefit from the information later. So, hey John, how's it going? How do you track ROI for your clients based on your marketing efforts? Well, ROI is going to be based on, what kind of marketing you're running for them. If you know what ROI means, and just in case, for those of you who don't know what ROI means, it's return on your investment, or it's the client's return on their investment. Hey Alex, what's going on, man? But the return on your investment is going to be what the owner or business manager is looking for, and your return on investment is going to be different per platform that you use. So if you use social media, or we'll just go more specific, we'll say Facebook, or if you use PPC, so Google Ads, you can have a return on investment on SEO. It really just depends what specifically you're talking about. So tracking is just going to be how many results you ended up getting them. So if the goal is to get a sale, or if the goal is for them to have people sign up application, or sign in, or not sign in, but fill out an application for, say, like a doctor's appointment or something like that, or to get in to enroll into a college or something, whatever the end goal is, that's how you track the results. So if you got them 10 people to sign up and they spent $1,000, that means each customer costs roughly $100 to acquire. And then what you would need to look at is how much each customer generates that business in revenue. So if they spend $100 per customer and they're making $500 per customer, then just looking at what you've been able to do for them, they've made $400 on that customer. Chipper, get out of here. Go. Dog issues. All right, so yeah, so if you make $400 for that customer, that is their return on that investment. You don't take into account any of their expenses and stuff like that, because you have no control over that. Your ROI is going to be strictly based off what you do for them with your marketing budget and how much revenue you make them, nothing past that. What are you using to manage all your clients? Just Google Doc spreadsheet to keep up to date on how many posts come. Yeah, Harvey, a good app, and I've talked about this before, is going to be Asana, A-S-A-N-A, and Asana is really cool. Not a problem, John. Asana is really cool for planning out and tracking everything. Not to mention you can add team members inside of it. So it's actually, I can't think. Keep forgetting I'm not doing a screencast because I would just show you guys, but look at Asana, A-S-A-N-A, there, and I'll make sure to leave a link for Asana down below. I'm actually pretty sure I'm an affiliate with them. Let me check and see really quick, because I want to get you, if possible, my affiliate link. But Asana is a really great way to plan out everything for your agency. Other than that, I use, like you said, everything in Google's app platform or app suite, whatever you want to call it. Uh, it's the best platform to use in my opinion. It's free. Everything is convertible into a .doc or a .ppt or a .pdf. So there's no like real bad confusion of like what file type needs to be, as far as, whether you're used to using PowerPoint or whether you're used to using Google. It all converts relatively the same. So that's just my personal preference. Um, Obviously, when I start to take on more business, I'll probably get something a little more high end, or actually, I already know exactly what I want to use, but I don't have the money to afford it yet. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. That's more of a CRM, customer relationship management software. HubSpot has a pretty cool CRM. I actually use their free tool. I would recommend looking into their free email tracking tool. You can actually, I think you get like 100 emails a month that they will send you tracking information on. So that's a really cool feature. You actually get to sit there, and whenever you send out an email, I use it for when I send out audits. When you send an audit out, you can see if that person has opened that email or not. So you know right there, okay, if they've opened that email and they didn't respond, there could be a couple things wrong. But if they didn't even open the email at all, it's telling you that your subject line wasn't working, or it maybe went to their spam folder because of the way you built the email out. So there's a couple quick things you can do there, but mainly, like I was saying, to wrap it up, Harvey, Asana, Google Docs and spreadsheets are great, and then look into HubSpot for CRM, that type of stuff. Damari, the best screen share tool, I just use Screencast-O-Matic. I'll type it in the chat box for you. Screencast. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Cast-O-Matic. And I believe it's only $15 to purchase that tool. So it's super affordable. Like, I don't really know if you can find a better one than that. Obviously, there's other features that go along with it, with a screencasting software, but that's the one I prefer. Top favorite 3 ways to acquire clients. Sorry, I am dyslexic as hell today. And that, I think your name is Designer. The top 3 way, or the top 3 favorite ways. Really, I don't even have 3. I have 2 that I use: networking and email. Or email or messaging. So I network first and foremost. I'm actually uploading a video right this very second that you guys will get to kind of look into. But it goes into 4 steps of networking and ways to meet people. So I teach you guys a little bit about how to do that, and there's plenty of that in my actual course. So really, it's all about networking. That has been, I think, out of the 10 plus clients that I've had so far, I think about 75% of them have come from just meeting people and talking to people without sending out an audit or anything like that. So networking is by far my favorite. Next to that would be the audit via email or Facebook message or a contact form on their website, something like that. Harvey, thank you very much. Oh, let me look into that really quick, guys. I'll be right back in just a second. I am trying to get something for Harvey really quick. But yeah, I mean, if I could show you this, I have everything that I use organized inside of Google Docs. I create folders for just about everything. And it looks like I don't think Asana has an affiliate program. So you can go ahead and sign up. Actually, and the reason why is probably because most people probably don't even pay for it, because everything that I use on Asana, like, it's right now at the stage that I'm at, I have 4 people that are in my team on Asana that can access all the documents, and right now it's still free. So, they're probably not making a ton of money just yet. They're like, if you've ever heard of Trello or anything like that, they're just project management apps. That's all they really are, and they're really great for those kinds of things. So Harvey, don't worry about waiting for the affiliate code. You can just go ahead and get right in there. Magic Dancer, just finished chapter in online course. I noticed you were live. Thanks for helping us out. Not a problem. That's why I do it. And I even put in the private Facebook group that I was going live. I want you guys to know when I'm going live, so that way if you have other questions outside of what I'm able to do inside the course, if you have a question and I'm able to get to it this way, then that's better, or I guess it's more efficient for you guys. So Not a problem at all, Magic Dancer. Vanessa, very first point of contact should be in person or by mail when regard to a prospective client. Not necessarily. Oh, well, okay. First point of contact. Okay, in person or by mail. Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I typically like to meet the person. I am a people person. I can talk to just about anyone, but that's just me. I like to get out and talk to people, meet new people. My parents always looked at me as a weird kid when I was growing up because I would literally just walk out and talk to any random person. So it's kind of funny, but so I've never had an issue with meeting new people, and that's my preferred way. How would you acquire clients when traveling? The same email method you usually use when traveling. Designer, you should really watch. I'm uploading a video right after this live goes off, so that way you can see what I do for networking. But it actually goes into exactly that question. I was traveling about a week ago going down to Florida, and I got two people's business cards right, when I was sitting at the airport, and one when I was on the plane. So that'll be a perfect episode for you to tune into after this. Email list for your site. I'm not focused on you. Here's what I want you guys to understand, and a lot of people miss this. Don't put a lot of effort into your website, into your Facebook pages. I had a kid message me the other day and said, "You're the guru of marketing, but you don't put a lot of effort into your Facebook page." And it's because, like, for my marketing company is not acquiring clients off of Facebook. That's why I don't focus on it. I'm too small right now to focus on spending on a Facebook ad budget. I've actually seen Facebook ads on Facebook and YouTube from companies that are promoting digital marketing. I'm guaranteeing you they're going to beat me out with the budget every single time. So I don't even focus on that kind of stuff just yet. I don't focus on website, anything like that. I basically just focus on meeting new people, building new prospect lists, finding new clients, as really just any way I can. Let me see. Vanessa, thank you so much. I'm glad that I've been able to help. When will you upload more videos to the course? They're actually coming. I had to, I guess you guys might not know about this, but I had an issue with my camera. The camera that I just bought was broken in transit on the way to Atlanta, so it had a messed up pixel. Took them about 3.5 weeks to get me my camera back, so I just recorded another episode for YouTube today. I'm recording some episodes for the digital marketing school this weekend. I already have that planned out, so I'll have at least 5 more done this week, and then hope to get another 10 more done the next week after that. So this month I'm going to upload more than 20 since I missed out on 10 last month, but that'll, just plenty more content for you guys. So it'll be coming soon, Damari, I promise. How does your email template look like? Is it really short? Email, I don't really have a template that I use. I prefer to do customized messages for each business. Just because templates don't get the point across when I'm trying to get that first point. If it's a first impression, you have to give them the best first impression. To do that, a templated email is not really going to do that. Wouldn't you think? So I always try to do something that's it'll be templated, but I customize each message. So I'll set up like a generalized message, but then I customize it to each business. It really just depends. I would say play around with it because especially if you're in a different country or something like that, keep it short. Tell them what you're trying to give them. So if you have something valuable, tell them that you're trying to give them something valuable. I usually don't even go into a whole, people try to spend the first, paragraph or two going into an introduction of their business. They don't care about that. They don't even know who you are. Skip that part. Say, hey, my name is Jordan Steen, and I found this error on your website, and I think you might want to take a look at it and make this revision. It'll help your business. By the way, I own a digital marketing agency, and that's when you give a very little bit of brief information. But in that first email, you're not looking to overload them at all. Top 3 cold calling tips: phone and or overcoming cold calling fear. Well, I've only worked in, 2 cold calling jobs in my life, and I hated them. Cold calling tips, really, it's just about it's not even just cold calling, it's any sales job or any cold marketing job. The first thing you're trying to do is get past the objections. You're going to get a lot of objections on the phone, especially because it's easy to just knock you off. You're not in front of my face. Face-to-face sales is a little different because when I'm in front of your face, it's harder for people to feel comfortable to say no. But over the phone, I can say no to you at any time and not really care because I can just hang up and I'll never see your face. So really just cold calling. That's why I also don't prefer it, and I don't even promote it really as an option for getting clients because I never do it. I've done it maybe twice, and I guess I've done it twice since I've started this agency, and it's worked once, but the other time it was just a complete shutout from about 10 to 15 different businesses. It just wasn't worth the time. I get so much better result from networking, meeting new people, spreading my business and my name around the Atlanta market, stuff like that. So if you were to send 1,000 emails, how many replies do you usually receive? I believe the usual click-through rate and open rate on 1,000 or just standard emails is around 1 to 4%. So that means if you send 1,000 emails, you're probably only going to get, I think that's 10 to 40. Yeah, 10 to 40. To open that, it's not a ton of people. So that's what I guess it depends. What if you were to send 1,000 emails? How many replies do you? Oh, you're talking about. Sorry, I read that wrong. I thought you were actually talking about for a marketing campaign, like bulk emailing. I don't know if you send 1,000 emails out to businesses. I'd say from my experience, one in every 20 or 30 has gotten back to me and responded. Now that doesn't mean I've signed up every single one. But I would say, 1 to 3 people out of 30 usually contact me back. But that's because I do the process ahead of time where I make sure that they're going to be qualified, that I'm not sending out emails to businesses that are never going to respond to me. There's no point in me even putting all that time and effort into putting together a digital marketing audit. This one comes from Pedro. Unique selling point to your agency. Is there a lot of competition in your area? No, my USP is really just the fact that I've been doing digital marketing since 2009. I've been doing it for a very long time. I've worked for the big corporations. I've managed budgets. I've done it for my own businesses and had success. That's my USP. Your USP is going to be something like you're young, ambitious, trying to make money if you've never done it before. Took Tai Lopez's course and became certified. Most people don't know that that's not really a legitimate college certification. It's just like a Tai Lopez certification. So, but you can use that to show leverage, especially if they've heard of Tai Lopez. Dropping that name will help out a lot. Saying that you've had direct mentorship from the greats like Joe Soto or Sean Bossler, those guys. If you've taken that course, you can feel free to name drop me if you feel like I'm a name drop worthy person. I don't think I've made it to that point yet, but I'm working on it. But yes, there is a lot. I'm in Atlanta, so there's going to be any major city in the U.S. I mean, Atlanta's, I think, the top 4. It's like the 4th city or 9th city, something like that, for how many people are in the area. So, I mean, it's huge. There's tons of competition in every area, but that shouldn't matter. It really doesn't. There's too many businesses out there who don't do digital marketing that there isn't enough competition to keep you from being able to be successful at this. What's your favorite conversation starter when meeting new people out and about and trying to network? I don't really have a favorite. I actually, Vanessa, you will definitely want to check out my new video that I'm uploading here after this video. It's all about networking. But I don't stick to a specific topic. I kind of jump in a lot of the time because most people aren't as extroverted as I am, where I'll go talk to anybody. But most people aren't like that. So I usually am the one jumping into a conversation, but that's usually what you have to do is you're usually like if I go to a bar and I'm sitting there, I'll probably listen to them and then I'll jump into a conversation where they were already talking about something and you're just kind of adding your 2 cents, but kind of doing it in a way where they're going to invite you into that conversation. Does that make sense? So, and if they're not talking to you at all, or if they're just not saying anything at all, then that's where you have to come up with a conversation starter. So, the best ones are really just asking questions about them, asking them where they're from, what they do. That's the best one. What do you do for a living? People will talk to you about that easily because that's, what they spend probably like 60% of their time doing in their life is their job. So just ask them what they do for a living. Do they like to go outdoors, travel, business, not business, travel, entertainment, all that kind of stuff. You're going to want to ask them those questions. Where do I see myself in 5 years? That's a cool question. In 5 years, let me see here. In 5 years, I will be 31 years old. God, I hate you almost for asking that question. I'll be 31 years old in 5 years. So hopefully by that time, I'll be in my condo over Atlanta Braves or SunTrust Stadium that they just built here in Atlanta, so I could watch my Braves whenever I want. Top floor condo. That's what I'm shooting for. Um, I don't want the private jet. I'm more of a boat guy. I want a nice little yacht. So I'm going the boating route. I'm just gonna sail across the world. But I mean, in 5 years, I hope to have, from a business perspective, I want to have about 50 clients under my digital marketing agency. I'd like to have 1,000 people that have come through my digital marketing school. And I would like to see a lot out of those 1,000 people that have come through my digital marketing school. I'd love to see about a 10% uh, you know, six-figure rate where 10% of the people who come through my class end up making six figures. Because it's totally possible. You guys just have to put in the time and effort like I've been doing. I mean, you guys see me on here all the time. When I'm not on here, I'm working on my marketing clients or on my digital marketing school. I'm always doing something. So, I'm putting in that time now, but it'll be worth it in about 5 years. What is the best way to get clients cold call? What is the best way to get clients cold calling? Again, Cypress, I just don't do too much cold calling, man. I don't believe in it. I'm more of an email message kind of guy. Here, let me give you a little tip into why Facebook messaging. Um, can you ever do live cold calling? Again, Cypress, I really just don't. So let me give you a little insight into why I like to do the things that I do. Facebook Messenger, think about this, okay? If you have a Facebook business page, say it's a chiropractor, okay? That chiropractor usually, or dentist, has a Facebook business page. If they have a Facebook business page at a chiropractor, do you think that they're going to let some front desk person who sets appointments and all that stuff manage their marketing campaign or their social media page? Probably not. The person who's going to be in charge of that Facebook page is probably going to be someone like their administrator, their business manager themselves, because they don't trust anyone to run their Facebook page. That's why I love sending a Facebook message, because it'll usually get to someone of importance with that business. And I'm sorry I'm not looking too much at the camera. I'm trying to read all you guys' questions and stuff like that. But anyways, that's why I like Facebook messaging so much. Outside of that, I do some serious, when I say stalking, I mean stalking. I go to Facebook, I try to find the owner of the business. I try to find them on LinkedIn. I try to find a personal email for that person if I can. I try to find an info email. I send every to every form of email that they have out there. I send it to it. I go to the contact form on their actual website, where the contact us page, you'll see a little name, subject. I enter it there if I can. If not, I still send a message there letting them know that I sent the audit or message to their Facebook page. It's about reaching them where they're going to be looking for messages in the first place, because cold calling, I don't believe in. So let me go up here, see if I miss some. How can I run an agency here in the UK? You can, from occupation, recreation, motivation. Ambitious Johns, I don't really understand your question too much. How can you run an agency here in the UK? Same way I do here in the US. Get out there, start learning how to do digital marketing, and find you some clients. It's the same principle no matter where you live. As far as that next part of your question, I didn't really understand that, so if you could write that again, maybe I can get to you. What's up, Dane? Glad to see you made it in again today. And Cypress, no problem. Again, I'm not a fan of cold calling. What percentage of your work do you outsource to other people? It depends on the work, because I like to, here's what I want you guys to also get, is in digital marketing, there's really 6 pieces, all right, 6 total pieces. Content marketing is the first one, but that pretty much encompasses every other part of the 6 pieces. But content marketing, social media marketing, PPC, SEO, email marketing, web development, design, and marketing. That's it. Those are the 6 parts really. I mean, there's other little parts you can throw in banner ads if you want. Banner ads suck. Don't buy them. They're the worst performing. They're the cheapest, but they're also the cheapest for a reason. I go for quality, but banner ads is something you could consider. I don't even consider it part of digital marketing anymore. Um, so where was I going here? Oh, so what do I outsource? I outsource all of my content creation. So anything that's like writing, when I have to write something, I don't write. I'm not a writer. I wrote all the content for my digital marketing course, but that's because it doesn't really require anything creative. So I outsource all of my content writing and social media management, just because I don't want to sit there and actually have to schedule posts. It's very basic type tasks. I focus more on myself on selling, building the bigger picture of their marketing campaign, and then more project management. So I outsource all of my web development. Most of this I outsource. I create the strategy, the campaign. I do more of the Facebook ads myself for right now, but eventually I'll outsource that too. Because here's the thing, guys, even though I am the expert, I didn't start this company so I could sit here and do all the grunt work. I know how to do it. I've done it for years. I'm doing this now so that way I can get other people to do it for me, and I charge enough to where I can outsource, and I know where to outsource to where I can save enough money and still make money myself and not have to do all the grunt work myself. So I would say right now I'm outsourcing probably about 60% of it, but I do about 40% myself. And even some of the web design, I still do some of that, which I hate, but I do. Should I use whois.com to get their info and call? Don't ever do anything like creepily. Email is not creepy because it's calling someone is way different from emailing them, the way they perceive that. So I would never call someone unless, I mean, you know that their number's out there somewhere and you can get a hold of them. But if it's like an owner or something like that, they think it's spammy when you do that. So be careful doing something like that. You get good response from messaging people. Oh yeah, messaging people on Facebook is where I get the best response from that type of outreach. Even way better than email, because Facebook, I can see if they've seen the message. Then once they've seen it, I give them 3 days if they didn't respond. If they didn't respond, I message them again and say, hey, just wanted to make sure you got to check out the audit downloaded properly or something like that. Sorry, let me close this. Got a bird. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So you can see their Facebook messages, or when they've seen your Facebook message. So I wait 3 days. If they haven't responded, then I send them another message asking if it downloaded properly, if they had a chance to look at it. If they still don't respond after that, I wait another 5 to 7 days and follow up with another message, just sending the audit again, something like that. Maybe they didn't see it. After that, I drop it and I move on. And that's actually one of the best things you can do, because after you drop it, they're not going to instantaneously see it. They're busy. They might not be, the person who's in charge of it might not be the person who's actually taking care of that social media channel, so it takes them a little to get that information. So just keep that in mind and know that after you drop them, they might call you back after that. That's actually what's happened to me a few times. What do you think about $500 a month for social media marketing and website redesign for the nightclub? Just curious. No, don't do it. Website redesign, I don't know what kind of design you're doing. Web development is not something you can ever go into with a $500 budget and do something else. You can't even go into a web development project with $500 period. So I wouldn't do that if I were you, just because you're going to find yourself not making any money off of that. So if you wanted to do $500 for social media marketing, so just to do Facebook and Instagram, that's all I would do. I don't work for anything less than $1,000 though at this point. Unless it's like my consulting services, which I do on an hourly basis, that's like 45 to 50 an hour. But I personally wouldn't do that if I were you, Joe. I think it's Yovan. Let me know if I said that right. Say yes or no. If yes, if I said it right. No, if I didn't. Let me see. Samuel. Did you have someone make your website, or I did it all myself through Squarespace? It only took me like 6 hours though, but I've done web development before on those templated platforms, so I moved through it pretty quickly. The hardest part really is just getting images sized properly and making sure that they're the right image that you want. And really, that's not even that hard. So outside of that, looking into things like installing the Pixel, installing Google Analytics, not installing, but making sure SEO is taken care of. Those are the things you'll want to look into outside of just basic website setup. Excuse me. So you don't focus on your brand like Facebook page, website, but mostly on emails. For my Rest and Bar marketing site, I don't focus on my website anymore. I got it up and running so it could exist. So that way, if a customer or potential customer ever wanted to see if I had a website, they could, but most of them don't check it. That's the reason why I don't focus on that brand. I focus on my Serial Entrepreneur brand, which is completely separate from my Rest and Bar marketing brand. Serial Entrepreneur is all about teaching digital marketing. Rest and Bar marketing is a marketing agency. So, but with regards to my marketing agency, I don't focus on any of that right now. I'm all about networking and sending out value until I can get large enough to where I can, do a citywide, because I plan to do a marketing budget just in the Atlanta area eventually when I get enough money. So, gotta grow. How do I cut social media marketing content in half? Content marketing for social media platforms takes so much time. Vanessa, best thing I can say is outsource. That's why and also learn to use the same content more than once. So if you have a blog or a vlog that you're writing, you can easily take that and break it down into like 15 or 20 different Facebook posts. So you're not constantly, and then spreading those out over the month and grouping them in with other types of Facebook posts. So that's one way to cut it down, but honestly, that's why I outsource my content creation, and I outsource my social media management, because it takes so much time. It really takes a ton, and it's not effective if you're trying to make a bunch of money in this. So are you doing any direct marketing, or only I don't do anything direct marketing, traditional marketing, I hate it. I've done direct marketing before, like face-to-face marketing before. I didn't like it. I'm making way more money right now than I ever was there. I made let me tell you this crap. I made $400 in 1 month and worked, I think, like 450 hours. No, it wasn't that much. It was probably like 300 hours for real in a month. It was ridiculous. Made $400 doing direct marketing for AT&T. Stupid. Let's see here. Which skill in digital marketing do you find most valuable? That's hard to say, but I think the most important ones right now are social media marketing, obviously, website marketing or development and design, and SEO. Those are the top three to me. Email marketing is great, PPC is great, but I think those three really, really hold digital marketing together. Without the website, there's no money site. Without social media, there's no way to create a cool buzz. And without SEO, there's no way for your site to rank organically to where you don't have to pay-per-click, and that crap gets expensive. So, oh crap, we got a bunch of questions. All right, what are you bringing when you go door to door? I don't go door to door, Justin. I do mostly networking with people, and like I said in the beginning, and emails and messages. So when I am meeting with people or doing networking, I usually don't have anything with me. I'm usually just out and about doing my own thing, and I run into someone and I end up making a friend. Again, I don't do the traditional forms of marketing or making sales for my business. They're dead. Joe Soto says this a lot, and I that's the one thing not the one thing, but that is one thing that we definitely agree on, is the fact that going door to door, pressure sales, high pressure sales, it's not effective anymore. It used to be, not effective anymore. People are too smart now. What do you say when you message them through Facebook? I say the same thing basically that I say in the email, except for I change it up a little bit. I mean, really, it's all the same messaging. You don't need to make it any different. You just want the message to each individual business to be customized. Where do you outsource content creation and social media management to? If you like, I can actually set you up with one of my friends who I actually trained him on how to do content, on how to write internet content, and how to manage social media platforms. If you're looking for him, I'm sure he would be happy to do some contract work for you. He won't necessarily be as cheap for you as he is for me because I'm offering him partnership or potential to work with me in the future, where he can make a decent amount of money and be my content director basically for my whole agency. But that's a little down the road. That's the best thing if you guys are looking for uh, great ways to outsource work or to find people who will help you do some of this work. Uh, Friends are really great, especially if you're in the college demographic. Finding interns or finding people at college who are willing to help you free or cheaply, great. Outside of that, there's a bunch of outsourcing companies. Most people use a company in the Philippines or one of the companies in the Philippines for outsourcing. And the reason why is because the Philippines or people who live in the Philippines actually have a very great understanding of the English language and do a really great job at communicating. Whereas I'm sure, and no offense, but in Indian dialect, and one of my best friends is Indian. He's my web developer or my app developer for my app that I'm developing. But sometimes communication can be a little more difficult because accents are heavier. So it just depends, but that doesn't mean like I actually on the last website project I just did, I hired 3 Indian guys to finish up my website. And yes, there was a couple issues of miscommunication, but I've also worked with Indian uh, dialects before, so I've kind of gotten a little used to it. And the more you do work in it, the more you will get used to it. But as far as outsourcing in general, just it doesn't matter where you get it from. It's really about the quality of work. So you want to make sure that that person, you vet them and make sure that they actually know what they're doing. How do you know who to outsource to? Isn't branding someone on social media marketing take knowing that person and their business in and out? Yeah, but you can learn it you want to know as much about their business as you can, but if you don't know every single piece of their business, it's not going to prevent you from creating great content. The more you know, the better you'll be able to relate to a customer. That's why knowing the business in and out is a good thing. But I mean, really, how do you know how to outsource to? Really, it's like I said, it's all about quality. So you're going to want to go these websites that I'm talking about in the Philippines. They have a whole vetting process where you go through and you actually uh, you go through a hiring process where you interview them and everything to make sure that they're the right fit. You preview some of their sample work or their portfolio. So if you go on Upwork and you try to hire a web developer um, to build a website for you, you're going to want to look at their past jobs and ask them. A lot of people will say they built a website. They didn't. They did an update to a website. You want to find the guys who actually built the website. And that's where, if you've never done let me say this one thing. If you've never done web development before and you're trying to outsource it, it might cost you some money, but I would recommend hiring someone to consult you through that process. Hiring maybe a project manager or a web development manager to help you get through that process. Because if you've never done a web development project or never developed a complex website before, it is not like using Squarespace or Wix or Weebly. It's a whole nother ballgame. I just finished about a $15,000 website for a business that took us about 2 months to complete. It was not fun. It was a hard project. They had over 10,000 items in their inventory. Trust me, it was intense. So you're going to want someone who understands web development. I've been doing it since I was in college. I started app development in college and web development in college. So I have some experience with it. You could obviously, if you wanted to, if you ever get a huge web development project, you can feel free to hit me up. I would be happy to do some web development consulting for you and kind of be one of the project managers to help you and guide you into learning how to set up a web development project. But really, uh, that's the hardest part. But outside of that, outsourcing for content is easy. Just read it. Do they sound like they can write or not? That's really what you're gonna want. You're gonna have to vet these people yourself. I use Upwork for outsourcing, so do I. Have you ever hired anyone full time yet? Nope, I'm working with a bunch of contract workers right now, so that way I don't have to worry about taking care of their taxes and all of that stuff, or like Social Security. I don't have to pay unemployment if I had to let them go or anything like that. So I would say go with contract work while you start up. If you don't have the software to make my website at the moment, should I just outsource it to like Pakistan? Yeah, that's typically where I outsource to. The Middle East is very, very cheap for web development. They do a very, very good job. Again, it's more of the communication issue or communication barrier that you're gonna go through with them. So, um, but again, if you don't have the money for it, I wouldn't even focus on building a website. I would go get you some customers first. They're not going to check your website more than likely. What kind of packages do you offer to your SMM clients? I did a whole video on that. Milton, I think Milton, not Milton, Milton. Sorry, Milton. I did a whole video on that, and on my channel, you can go check that out there. Computer power. I think it's right. Okay. Contract work per month or per hour? I do mine on an hourly basis right now, just because when you do it on like a per month basis, you're basically setting up a salary for that person. And I'm not in the position where I can guarantee a person a salary. I have to make sure that all of my dollars are used efficiently, so I do it by the hour. What do you mean by contract work? Contract work is hiring a contractor. So there's a difference between an employee and a contractor. Contractor runs their own business. You don't train them, but there's loopholes around that. Like for example, my buddy TJ, I taught him how to do everything, but then I hired him on as a contractor. So there's loopholes for everything in business. But a contract work is basically where you just anybody that you hire outside of your business to work for your business and perform a service. So if you ever hire anyone to build a website for one of your clients, that's contract work. If you ever hire someone to manage your client's social media pages, that's contract work. How do you track your hours? Look up an app called Toggl. That's Toggl. That's really awesome for tracking time worked. You can segment by projects, or not just projects, but by team member. You can see which team member is doing whatever they're doing. It's really great for tracking hours. Do you just tell the client how many hours you worked? How does the trust work? No, I write out a bill of services performed. So I go through each service that I performed for them, and I try to give them the best breakdown of how many hours I spent on each portion to the best of my ability. Do you have business cards? Yes, I do have business cards. Got them off of Vistaprint. Don't do anything super flashy. Business cards, they're great, but again, it's just extra money, extra time. Definitely get some, because people will if you ever go to a networking meeting or ever meet someone, they're going to want your contact info. And unfortunately, the whole bump thing with phones never took off, so people still trade business cards. So definitely get some, but don't spend a whole lot of time. Don't spend 3 hours trying to design your business card. I will find you in real life and I will slap you. I hate when people do that. Miss Harper, Aldrima? Let me know if I said that right. Aldrima? Yeah, Toggl's really great. It's definitely my favorite app to use. Aaron, let me see here. Aaron, I'm 17 and started my agency about 2 months ago. Every potential client I've tried to obtain has said that I don't sound experienced enough, as I'm only 17. How do I get taken seriously? Aaron, that's actually something I kind of went through myself in college. I built an app in college, and I was trying to take it and sell it to people, or sell third-party services, basically to where they would pay me to come onto my app. So I was like 20 years old, I think, when I did that. So I looked even younger than I look now. I didn't have the full beard yet. I still kind of was growing it partially. But the biggest thing is age doesn't matter unless you really don't know what you're talking about. Because believe it or not, and Aaron, I'm not saying that you don't know what you're talking about. I guess what I want you to understand is that when you look young, they're automatically going to have a biased opinion about you, or some preset opinion about you saying they're young, they're dumb, which is, normally not the case. There are tons of young people who are very smart and very intelligent and don't get taken seriously enough. So the biggest thing is, how are you dressed? Are you dressed business professional? Get you a suit. If you really want them to take you seriously, get a suit. It looks like your picture. It looks like you're a girl. Get a suit. Get a woman suit and go in there with a briefcase and your laptop and show them what's what. But the second part is, you have to be able to talk it. You can't just go in there and look the professional. You have to talk the professional. So you have to be able to professionally. Here's one thing I can tell you: when I was 17, I couldn't have done what I'm doing now. I didn't have the sales experience, and I didn't even know what sales was. I probably thought I was the best at sales, but I had no idea. So Aaron, I would say take a look into some sales videos, how to get people to warm up to you, how to get people to like you, a great book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Look at something like that, because really that's all you're trying to win them over on your first impression, and that's what's killing you because you look so young. So try and do as much as you can, as bad as it sounds, but to look older. So wear the suit if you can, do your hair up real nice, and really just hold yourself professionally. Show up on time or early. Give them value. If they're not taking you if they're not taking you seriously, leave them that audit and show them all of the value that you could build for them. Show them where they're making the errors and where you would correct those errors. Do something for free for them if they're really not, because you're 17. You don't have the responsibilities of life, or you could. Don't let me assume. You could have the responsibilities of life, but I'm doubting that at 17 you have all the responsibilities that a full-on adult has. So, offer to work for them for free for a little bit. Be like, look, I know you probably don't trust me. I'm 17 years old. Let me work for you for free for 2 weeks, show you what I can do. And if after that 2 weeks you aren't happy, then we'll stop. And you have nothing lost. You haven't spent any money, nothing. So try something like that. Aldrima, I'm glad I said it right. Robert Wilder, best way to get leads for business owners over the phone. Go back to the previous areas in the video. I don't do cold calling. I don't do phone calls. What's the average rate per hour you try to stay in when hiring the contractor? Alexander, that's a very hard question because it always depends on the job. What you can do, though, is go to Upwork and type in, so say you've never done a web development job, type in web development, and then go look at all the different ranges that people post for pricing. And then look at the jobs that those types of people have worked on, because typically the lower ones are going to be lesser quality. The higher dollar ones are going to be higher quality. So you're going to pay for what you get, or you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to upload this. Acer, what are you talking about? Aaron, you're welcome. Have you ever heard of Alex Becker? Yes, I have heard of Alex. He kind of reminds me of, or I guess I kind of remind myself of him. I don't really know how to word that. He reminds me of me, but Aaron, you're welcome. Again, not a problem. Read books and learn about networking. I think Acer was responding to you as well, Aaron. Which, yes, really the biggest thing is learning how to make people like you. That's going to be the biggest thing that you can do to get your foot in the door when you're younger or when you seem younger. Like that story, I was going off this story. I went into a car dealership when I was in college trying to get him to buy it, and he actually tried. By the time because I had prepared so much for this pitch, I dressed up in my suit. I had my hair combed over, gelled over. I had cologne on. I looked the part, and then not only that, but I went in there and I owned the room for that presentation. And I was trying to sell him my services, but by the time we were finished, he offered me a job selling cars there at his dealership. But I was a full-time student. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I appreciate the offer. He was like, I was really impressed with your pitch and your products that you were pitching, but I'm really, really impressed with your sales ability. Would you like a job here? Unfortunately, I couldn't take it. But again, it's about getting them to understand that you're not a joke. You are serious. You're trying to do something legitimate, and they need to give you a chance. So, can you do a video about Facebook ads? I have Harvey, but I only reserve full videos and tutorials and templates like that for people who are in my digital marketing course. Otherwise, I would really just be putting a lot of time into this for free. And I kind of don't make that much money yet. If Ty wants to put in some free time, he can, because he can definitely afford to. I'm just not at that point yet. I still have to find ways to make myself some money so that way I can keep growing and keep doing things like this that I am doing. So, I try to give as much free value as I can. If you really want information, this next set of videos that I'm about to upload goes into building audiences on Facebook, building ads on Facebook, and building tiered ad sets on Facebook. So these will be like part of the next 10 that I'm uploading. So Harvey, I don't know if you're in the class or not. And again, I'm sorry if you are and I haven't remembered you. I have tons of people in there plus this channel. But if you're in the class, there will be videos uploaded there very, very shortly. If not, I don't ever plan to upload any of those to Facebook. I might do some very brief videos on Facebook ads to give maybe some tips or something like that. But I'll never go through a full example on here. At least I don't think I could in the future. Who knows? Things may change. But for right now, I don't plan on doing that. Just because that's what I say for people who actually take my class. Top 3 sales books. I really liked How to Win Friends and Influence People. Thank You for Arguing is a really good book. I recommend it completely. It talks about how Abe Lincoln, Homer Simpson, and who was it? Aristotle had perfected the art of arguing, and not arguing like bickering, arguing as in having a conversation and trying to prove a point or trying to get someone to see it from your perspective, because that's what sales is. You're trying to get someone to see the campaign that you've put together for them from your perspective. See, because you're the marketer, you understand why it's going to work. But they as the business owner might not understand. So you're trying to convince them to have the same mindset that you have about your marketing efforts. Are you selling the videos on the course separate? No, those videos come with the course. The course is $200, and those I upload more videos consistently. I'm trying to do about 20 a month. I missed 10 from last month, so I'm doing about 30 to 40 this month. But I'm going to be shooting 5 to 10 videos this weekend. And so I will upload more there. And the next set to come out is the ones on Facebook. So you'll definitely want to get in the course if you're interested in something like that. How much work did you do for yourself? No outsource during the beginning of your agency, dude. I couldn't even tell you how many hours. If I had to guess, in the first month, probably over 300, easy. I know I was the first day. The day that I built my website, it took me 6 hours, but I spent to build the website, but I spent that whole day, so 12 hours getting the whole website complete. So from planning to finding images to writing content, all of that stuff. But building the website took another 6 hours. So, I spent an outrageous amount of time in the beginning, but that's because I knew if I put the time and effort in, it would totally be worth it for me. So. You must teach them so they see things how we see. Exactly. You have to get them to understand the benefits of everything. So, almost at an hour. Jesus. I've been thinking about doing like a 24-hour like live video where I just sit on here for 24 hours straight and try and just talk about digital marketing. I just did 1 hour. Excuse me. A little tired from today. I just did 1 hour. And I could easily do, 5 more hours, but 24, whew, that would be a lot. That would be a lot. Not a problem, Aldrima. Hope that everything else has been able to help you. Hopefully you're in my course. If not, hopefully I get to see you in there soon. Oh, geez. I just realized I haven't had I'm going to get a haircut sometime here this week or weekend. I'll tell you that much. I said it on like 3 weeks ago in one of my videos, and I didn't do it. And this hair is long. What do you use to create logos? I have a graphic designer. One of my friends who actually helps me with my app is a graphic designer, so I pay him to do my logos for me. Either that or Upwork has a ton of people who can create great logos. You can get like my serial entrepreneur logo. I paid $15 for. My Rest and Bar logo I paid $20 for. What else? I've done so many logos off of there. Any type of graphic design work you want done, you can get done on Upwork. I prefer to use my friend though, because he does a better job. What about the work for your clients and Facebook ads, community management? What about that, Alex? I'm not really sure what you're talking about. When you say contract work, are you sending them a contract that you made with your rules? Yeah, so with a contract like type situation, I give them guidelines. You don't so in the US there's two types of workers. You can have a contract worker or an employee that works for you. All right, you can't get those confused because you can get I believe you can actually take on a heavy fine. I believe it's a fine, or they'll shut down your business if you get caught too many times doing this the wrong way. But basically, a contractor is someone that you say, look, I need you to build this website. I need this website built this way. I need it done with these colors. I need it done in this time frame, and I need it done at this cost. That's all a contract is. Look up, Harvey, before you ask another question on contract work, because you've asked quite a few on this. Look up contracting, third-party contracting. I believe it's I can't think of what it's called. What the other? Just look up contract work or contracting, hiring contractors in the U.S. or hiring freelancers. God, excuse me, I am on a yawn streak. Hiring freelancers, something like that. Look into those. I'm in the process acquiring my first client. I heard the sweet words, "We just don't have the time to do this." What do you feel works better, charging hourly or by monthly packages? I do mine as a month-to-month retainer. I don't charge my clients hourly. I charge them upfront, so I get a check before I do the work, a month in advance, and that is for the entire month, and it includes the services that I perform. God, obviously I need to go get some sleep tonight. But again, I put a whole video up on my pricing packages and stuff like that, so check out that video. Rephrasing, how much time did you spend doing the work for your clients in the beginning, like Facebook ads? Even in the beginning, I didn't do too much. For my first 3 customers, I did, but I still wasn't putting in any more than 20 to 30 hours a week because they weren't paying me enough for me to put in more time than that. And then this last customer, or my last couple customers I got, were more high dollars. So I had my first few customers, so I was able to take some of that money and begin to outsource more of the work, so I actually have to do less. I know, dude, I keep yawning and it's killing me. I don't know why I can't quit yawning. It's ridiculous. I think it's this like light in my face that like every time I look at it. I don't know. It's weird. But we are at 57 minutes, so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. If you guys have any pressing last minute questions, make sure to get those in. Also, be aware that I'm going to start doing these every Thursday at about 6:30 p.m. right now. So this time, if you have any questions or comments, or if I didn't get to something, leave it in the comments below, and I will try to get to it after the video. If you guys haven't seen my digital marketing school, definitely check that out. It's digitalmarketingschool.teachable.com. I've had a lot of people telling me how much they love the course, how much it's already helped them. I actually posted an ad the other day promoting the course, and one of my students got on there and wrote a free review for me on that ad. It was awesome. Did really well for the ad to help boost the ad, and it's just great for me to see that I didn't ask him or pay him to do anything like that. It just came out of nowhere. So it was really, really great. Samaria, I would maybe recommend setting it up through your parents' name and you just run the business. Or getting someone old enough to set it up in their name and you run the business. Someone you trust, though. Because if you do it with someone you don't trust, they'll steal everything from you. So make sure it's someone you trust. Talk about Vendasta. Ali, I believe, or Ali. Is it Ali? I think it's Ali. Ali, I'm putting that video, actually, that's one of the next ones to come up in the digital marketing course. I believe you're in the course. Your name looks familiar. If you're in the course, just definitely pay attention. I'll be going into a whole video about using Vendasta. For those of you who aren't familiar, Vendasta is an SEO software that I use for my customers. Does wonders for them. They love it. So you'll definitely want to check that out. And I'll try and. Will you chill out? My dog goes crazy. He's over here. Never mind. But yeah, if you're in the course, I'll talk about Vendasta there. But outside of that, I don't plan on talking about Vendasta too much on YouTube. Sam Shaw, if you're watching this video, I hope that you sign up, man. I saw that you joined. Make sure you sign up. That's another thing. A lot of people are signing up and they're not actually joining, paying to get in the course. So I hope you guys do understand that just because you signed up, you don't actually get access to the course. That just creates your account so that way you can get into the course once you pay. Just so you guys are aware. Sorry, it's just I have a friend at university who completed a web development course, so that's why I want to put together a contract with him as I have a Kindle publishing and dental business. Gotcha. Yeah, so with regards to that, you'll definitely want to put together a contract. And again, though, you're still going to want to have an attorney look at something like that. I'm not an attorney, I don't give legal advice, so I would recommend having an attorney look at that for when you have a third party person anyways, just so neither of you are uncomfortable or getting screwed over. Do you think New York City would be a great place? Yes, of course. Any city, any large city in the US is a great city to start digital marketing. It's whether you have the it's never about the area, it's never about the customers. It's about you. Everybody always tries to make excuses for the reasons why they can't become successful. And half of it has to do, like, that's what really kind of gets me is I see so many people saying that they're not successful. And I'm not talking directly about you, Anthony. I'm just saying I see so many people who say they aren't successful or they're not having any luck. But then I go on Snapchat and I see the same person doing nothing beneficial for themselves. And it's like, how do you expect to grow if all you're doing is partying and goofing around? I had this one kid who tried to. Never mind. I'm not even going to talk about that because he actually has a YouTube channel and I don't want to call him out. But it's the things that you do, what you're spending your time on. If you're not spending your time properly, then it's never going to be worth it for you. So to sum it up, yes, you can start a digital marketing agency in Antarctica. You could literally live in Antarctica and start a digital marketing agency if there's internet there. That's all you need. It's about your willpower. Do you have the will to be successful and to do something with your life? I almost lost a $5,000 customer the other day. They actually did cancel on me, and then they called me back a week later saying they wanted to get back on board because they realized how much they messed up. So that's the thing. I was upset about it for 2 days, but then I said, you know what? I can't stay upset about this. I need to go out there and get another client instead. So I went out, and guess what? Within 2 days, I had someone else contacting me, and I'm potentially working with a nonprofit now who works with veterans. So that's the thing. You have to put your mind to it and decide if you want to be successful. And then, like I said, they called me back this week and they said, all right, we need to talk about getting you set back up with us. We didn't do something right. So have you fully automated the work you offer to your clients? Not 100%, no. Ali, gotcha. Figured it was. I'm joining the course at the end of the month. Awesome, Harvey. I can't wait to see you in there. I'm sure you're gonna love the content. I promise you, it'll be worth the $200 if it's still 200 by then. I hope it's still 200 by then for your sake. I can't make any promises though. I don't want to make any promises, but it is jumping up to 350 here very soon. It's once I hit a certain number of students. I expanded it even further past the 50, so would love to expand to Antarctica. Bet I can help them Eskimos with their ice businesses. I don't think they need any help selling that stuff, buddy. They're probably doing pretty well. From the money that your clients pay you, how much of that do you keep for yourself? It fluctuates. It's hard to tell you. You're never gonna, number one, it never stays the same in marketing because you could lose a customer 1 month that you've had for 10 years. You could gain 10 customers. My expenses fluctuate. I also run my serial entrepreneur and digital marketing school businesses through my rest and bar stuff, and I haven't had my accountant break everything out yet. So I honestly couldn't tell you. I can tell you that I made in the last 2 months I made almost $24,000, and out of that I kept about $4,000 for myself. So if that says anything to you,
But that's my choice. I spent, let's see, out of that 24 grand, I put a bunch into a tax savings account, which I'm going to get back at the end of the year because I get to write off most of my work. I put almost 1,500 of it into camera equipment, lighting, backdrops, green screens, racks, a camera, tripods, memory cards, lenses, all that crap. What else did I spend on? Let's see, I spent money on plane tickets. I spent money on taking potential customers out for drinks and dinners. I spent money on my contractors and outsourcing. I spent a lot on web development. Uh, it all goes into expenses, but it fluctuates every month, so it's hard to say how much I'm keeping for myself. But at the very moment, I've only made. I personally have made in the last 4 months since I've been doing this. I think I've made around, what is it? Probably around 20 grand. That actually came back to me. Again, remember, a lot of that's coming back to me at the end of the year. I'm going to get a huge, um, tax refund at the end of the year. That'll be over 10K easily, might be over 20K. And again, I'm just in the process of building my business, so I'm putting most of my revenue that I make back into the business. Because I could have kept more than that, but I want to see it grow quicker, so I'm putting more money into it right now. I hope you guys can hear me. I just got a message saying you can't hear me. All right, guys. Well, we're at over an hour, and I am getting a little hungry. So let me see if we get any important questions in here. Do you plan in the future to make your business in-house? By in-house, do you mean not doing any outsourcing whatsoever? Because I don't think that would be the best option, just because outsourcing is so much cheaper. Um, like outsourcing on Upwork, outsourcing to India, into the Philippines. You don't want to take in everything. I'm gonna bring most of it in house so I can watch quality control. Um, but even from that sense, it won't be like content creation. I will outsource eventually to other third parties that'll do it way cheaper. They're so cheap to get it done. So as far as doing it in house, yes. As far as working from home, I do that currently. If that's what you meant. Not really 100% sure what you meant by that specific question, so I hope I answered that. But anyways, I'm getting hungry. Like I said, guys, I gotta get some food before this belly starts rumbling. It's not a very big belly, so gotta go put some stuff in it. But I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this hour. Feel free to go back through if you have any comments that you guys, or if you have any questions that I didn't get to, leave it in the comments section below. I'll get to it there. If you haven't seen my digital marketing school, check that out at digitalmarketing.teachable.com. Check me out on Snapchat at SerialENT. I always do that. SerialENT. Check me out on Facebook at Jordan Steen Serial Entrepreneur. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, do that right now, because as you can see, I give away all kinds of free stuff. Or at least that's what you guys tell me. And apparently you guys love it and it's helpful. And I'm glad that it's helpful and that you love it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I will see you guys again next Thursday, same time, same channel. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you're here. And I look forward to talking to you guys again very soon. I hope to see you in the course if you aren't. But until then, Serial Entrepreneur out, as always. Bye, guys.